Good evening, guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hey, Adam G, your online Queenspirational talk show. Yeah, I'm going to interview another Miss Universe Philippines delegate in a little while. I really love her ever since she burst out in our in the pageant scene with her beautiful Kumu video. And let's face it, although she's a model, let's face it, everyone knows that modeling can be or can be a short-lived career, unless of course you're Kate Moss or Naomi Campbell in the in the process. But many top models have recently traded in modeling for some line memorizing, acting, or even joining a beauty pageant in the process. And I'm going to talk to one of them in a little while. So, from international modeling to Philippine pageantry, this girl is really taking such a huge leap of faith. So let's get to know her more. Here she is. Please say hello to Miss Universe Philippines Lapu-Lapu City 2022, Sashi Chiesa. Hi, Sashi.
Hi. Hi. Thanks for having me. Hi, Adam. Hi, everyone. What a nice introduction.
Nagbakal-bakal pa nga ako, but thank you so much. Thank you for appreciating it. So, kumusta ka na? How are you? It's so nice to finally meet you
I'm.
last Thursday
I know.
in person.
It's yes. Last Thursday. I know it's hard to keep track of the days. There's so much to do in so little time. But I'm excited with the amount of energy and passion that's going into all these days that are happening right now. By the way, guys, if I'm lagging a little bit, I'm so sorry. It's new apartment in Manila, fresh start here.
Oh, so you just arrived in Manila a few days ago for the competition.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, obviously my family is in Cebu, so
nice. But yeah, as I've said, thank you so much for giving me your time and effort in gracing this interview to get to know you more for Miss Universe
no,
Philippines. So, how are you sizing up
not at all.
yourself in this competition so far?
I'm actually just taking it easy. I'm trying to enjoy the ride. It's it's if you start sizing yourself up, start comparing yourself, it starts to get a little overwhelming. So I think my approach is to just enjoy my time. And also, I really want to work hard. I don't want to just throw it away, just have a bunch of good laughs and throw away the experience. I want to really work as hard as I can, and I want to make the best relationships that I can. So that's my approach right now.
Speaking of relationships, how was it like meeting your fellow contestants? Majority of them
I
last week.
Yeah, last Thursday. I wish I got to speak to them more. It was more about the press conference. I only spoke to, a few here and there, but it's really exciting. I can tell everyone's really, excited to know who gets into the top 30. Yeah, it was very exciting, but at the same time, there's a little bit of nerves. I'm sure there's
So,
always a little bit of nerves.
So a lot of people are tuning in right now. So you're one of the fresh
Mm,
faces joining Miss Universe Philippines right now. So for the
yes.
benefit of our viewers who are still clueless about you, can you give a little intro about yourself in terms of of the highlights or achievements
Who's
you want to share to us?
for those clueless about me. Yes. So, a little intro about myself is that I was born in Switzerland, and when I was a baby, tiny baby, I moved to Cebu. I moved to the Philippines, and I grew up here. And when I was 10 years old, my parents divorced, and then I moved to Malaysia, which was a culture shock for a 10-year-old, a Filipina 10-year-old. I was like, what is this food? It's not my usual, like adobo and barbecue is not my usual. And then I went to school there. And after high school, I moved to a bunch of different countries actually. to try and pursue university and different courses.
Oh, so you're a citizen of the world
That's a
pala,
little background.
having grown up in so many countries around the world. So how has it been like from moving from one country to another at such a young age?
um, it was okay. I'm gonna be very honest. It was really hard. Um, Luckily, my parents were able to bring me home like every summer. I would come back to Cebu. Every Christmas, I would come back to Cebu. So I had a little bit of stability, but it was hard. I cried every time. I missed my friends, my family. I missed having all my kuyas and cousins, and it's really hard to transition. But at the same time, I think I grew a lot at a young age. I became very mature at 11 years old. I was like an 11-year-old grandma.
Napaka ano naman nun, poetic naman nun, 11-year-old grandma. Parang,
That's gonna be
sige.
my quote. That's my hashtag.
Alam mo, hearing your story, a bit of your story, or your background, you know who you remind me of right now? Si Anya Taylor-Joy, the girl in The
That's
Queen's Gambit,
funny.
because I was reading a
She's
lot of
so
her press
cool.
interviews, and she also, she started out as an international model, and she
Mm.
also had a similar background with you, 'di ba, of growing up, na, moving from one
Oh,
place
you
to
mean
another.
the actress? Her
Yeah,
herself.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So I wonder, did you easily fit in those times that you were moving around? Were there struggles that you faced while growing up in this kind of situation?
Yes, absolutely. It wasn't easy fitting in. Actually, even just in the Philippines, I didn't really fit in. People were saying that I was too mestiza, that I was strange. I spoke Italian at home. They made fun of my eyebrows because I have really pointy eyebrows. It wasn't easy. Also, my language, my Cebuano has a little accent, but then when I moved away, my English has a little accent and my Italian has an accent. So nobody can really place me or say that I belong. And that's something that I've dealt with my whole life. They're like, oh, she's not really from here. She's not one of us. But that comes with being mixed. It's time to move on. Everyone is sort of mixed from somewhere. So just let all that stuff go.
Wait, so you're multilingual pala? So
Yeah.
you speak Italian? What else? What language do you speak pa?
So I'm Swiss, right? And Swiss people actually they're kind of forced to know Italian, French, and German because the country speaks those three languages. You have to survive in the country, you have to sort of know your way around those three languages. So my dad made me learn those three languages. And then obviously Cebuano because of my mom, my lola, and growing up here, I only spoke Cebuano.
So
Yeah.
up until now,
Bisaya.
you're still conversant with all those languages: Bisaya,
Yes,
German,
I would
Italian.
say, yeah, I would say German is the one that I've been lagging. Speaking of lagging, lagging a little bit.
Alam
But
mo yeah, I'm
yeah,
really impressed.
definitely Italian. I speak every day.
I wish I had a cosmopolitan background as well. I love people who can really speak different languages,
You
especially,
are
oh, look, oh.
cosmopolitan.
No, I just stayed here my whole life in
You're
pero ikaw,
Cosmopolitan
oh.
magazine.
You speak Italian, German, and French. Wow. What's the sexiest language for you among the four? Italian, Germany, English, Bisaya, French.
I don't want to bash other languages. I feel like you can be sexy in your own language if it's coming from within, right? You can make any, though I saw like an Instagram post that it's really hard to sound sexy in German. But I'm sure you can. I'm sure it's possible.
Maybe it's because I'm watching too much Emily in Paris. That's why I'm kind of biased with the
Ah,
French.
French.
I don't know
French.
when
French is
yeah,
nice.
yeah. Can you speak a little bit French?
Oui, je peux parler français. Alors, c'est un grand plaisir pour moi de parler avec toi. Però io voglio
What
parlare
does
in
that mean?
italiano, lo sai perché? Perché io sono molto fiera di essere italiano. Allora, quella è una cosa molto importante di me. C'è anche una candidata che parla anche italiano.
What does that mean? What did you just say?
So I switched from French to Italian, and I said that I actually wanted to speak Italian as well because I'm really proud. I said I'm really proud to be Italian, and that there's also another candidate that speaks Italian that I spoke to her, which is so much fun because that means we can chica
Without
in the
everyone
pageant.
understanding both of you. That's nice. That's
Yeah,
nice.
exactly.
I guess we all know. I guess we all know which candidate you're talking about. So yeah, pero growing up as I've asked you earlier,
There
you
might be
seem to have.
more.
I'm sorry.
Oh, there might be more candidates that speak because we don't know. There's a lot of multilingual girls.
Yeah, sino ba? Si Julia, si Celeste, who
Yeah.
else? Yeah. So going back to your background, did from the way I look at you, parang you seem to have a happy childhood, moving from one place to another. So you had no issues while growing up. You easily fitted in during
No,
those
I think
times.
it's. I think everyone faces. No one is immune to issues and hardships in life. You know, everyone has faced struggles. I've had to deal with many different things. A divorce. I've had a sister that battled with addiction. I've had just a lot of like family problems. Um, but even just moving country was very, very difficult. But yeah, I grew a lot from all of that. I'm 26 now. I'm one of the older candidates, and I feel like I have a lot of wisdom to operate from in all of these tasks that we have to do.
Among all the places that you've been to around the world, which has been like your most memorable um most memorable experience?
Um, I'll just tell you honestly, I went to Australia with just my dad, and spending time with my dad, for you to understand, spending time with my dad is really important to me because he's 84 years old. So he's very old. So every time him and I get one-on-one time, I'm so thankful and I'm so happy. It's really becomes memorable, right? And him and I went to Australia one time. It was an amazing trip where we got to see the desert in Australia and we got to see the stars. And it's the most beautiful night sky I've ever seen. It's just, it's one of those like things that you see that stay in your head forever because it was so beautiful.
Where is he based right now? Where are your parents based right now?
He's based, my dad is based in Malaysia and my mom in Cebu. Malaysia, Penang,
Oh,
Malaysia. Yes.
oh, okay. And then every summer you would keep coming back to Cebu for your vacation, for
Yes.
your annual
And
vacation.
mostly, if I can't make it for summer, Christmas is the big deal. Christmas, you
Of
have to be
course.
in the Philippines for Christmas.
Of course. And then, so growing up, so, you had a hard time fitting in. So, at what age did you start developing your interest for modeling?
It actually started in the Philippines. when I was 14. So that's the age that it really started. Obviously, a lot of people in the Philippines scouted. They were like, "Oh, you could do something." The first thing I did was for a department store in Cebu.
Yeah.
That was my first modeling gig. And then from there, I realized that it's kind of cool. I enjoy meeting new people. I like the environment.
At what? So how old were you? Were you that time? 14, 15?
I was 14. My very first exposure to modeling, I was 14.
So in the midst of constantly moving around, what have you learned? What have you learned most about yourself during this period of time? I want. So
Mm,
why didn't you stay in a country where either of your parents live, so that you have at least, be of close proximity to one of them?
yeah, so I mean, I understand. I wanted so badly to stay in the Philippines, but it was more important for me to follow my dad. So I lived with my dad up until I was 18.
Malaysia,
So
in Malaysia.
yeah, in Malaysia. We lived together in Cebu as well. But then when he moved to Malaysia, I followed him to Malaysia as well. And so when I was 18, it was time to, leave the nest and try something new. But I really, really missed home. I wish looking back, I wish actually, you know what? No regrets. Because it made me who I am today. So that's the truth. I don't regret because I learned so much in so little time. That's what happens when you venture out on your own, when you really take a risk with your independence. You really, really grow very fast.
So from Malaysia, where did you take your college course, and what course did you take up in school?
So from Malaysia, I took a small French course. I got a little French diploma in Lausanne, Switzerland, and I also took up medicine. But then I realized, oh my gosh, this is not for me. This is not the right course. I had to tell my parents, I'm so sorry. I know that this was like the Filipino dream. This was the plan, but I don't think it's for me. I'm much happier and much more productive as a person if I do something that I'm good at, which is actually creative, which is hard for a parent to hear because, like, how are you gonna get a salary? But
Yes, yes.
if you're good and you're passionate, then I think there's no problem, and I think it's actually a great career. Yeah, so I made a switch, and then I moved to Los Angeles to do acting. And that's when it all came, my love for films and acting. And I realized that's what I really want to do.
So how did your parents react when you told them that you didn't like to finish your medical course, you didn't like to pursue medical school already, and that you wanna switch industries?
This is a very useful question because I'm sure there's some people watching this that might be in that position of wanting to, break it to their parents that they're in the wrong course. But what happened, surprisingly, is they said, I knew it. I knew that you weren't supposed to be doing this. I knew that you weren't happy. So they knew that I was faking it. That
So
was the
eventually,
reaction.
they accepted what you really wanted to pursue.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. I think if any loving parent wants their child to be happy.
All right. So while I was doing some research about you, so of course I scrolled through your Instagram account. I found some pictures, which I'm showing it right now. So this one.
Oh no.
So when was this? You know Bea personally?
Cool. Oh yes, she's familiar. Yes, actually, Bea and I started modeling together in Cebu. Um, and actually, she was one of the first mentors that I had in my very first pageant. She taught me how to walk. She just gave me a lot of advice. Yeah, and we did a couple of photo shoots together. I got to meet her. She was so chill and cool.
Did you ask tips
Yeah, she's
from
my
her
mentor.
about joining MUP?
For this,
Yeah.
not yet, but because she's the reigning, and she has to be professional. She can't, have favorites. She has to be the face of the organization right now. She has to be
So
our leader, and I'm just a candidate at the end of the day.
yeah, all right. So is MUP your first pageant?
No, I joined Miss Mandaue in 2017 in in Cebu.
All right. But prior to this, I saw something, a photo of you on Instagram. Is this Miss Cebu?
This is Miss Mandaue, and I was first runner up, and the beautiful girl in the middle is Rafaela Lewis. She was the Miss Mandaue.
All right. So from international,
We became so
yeah,
close.
from international modeling, how did your interest in pageantry begin?
Um, well, actually, I did a few modeling gigs internationally because in London, for example, I did a bridal gig. I got a front cover of a magazine there, and I did just a few modeling gigs in New York. But it wasn't. It was just kind of like seeing how far that could go. When I knew that pageantry is a much bigger activity where you get to meet people, you make sisterhoods, you just get to know your city. That was amazing to me. I was like, I want to be part of Cebu again. I want to feel like I'm home again. I want to make new friends because I never went to college in Cebu. So I didn't have like a bunch of barkada that I can talk to. So that's why it was so appealing to me to join Miss Mandaue.
So you've been based in Cebu for quite some time now. So from Los Angeles, you relocated to Cebu, of course, for Miss Mandawi.
Yeah, just for about a year. And then I moved to London, which is actually where I have yeah, that's where I came from. I came from London to LA and then here.
Oh, all right.
Yes,
So for now, you're based here in the
yes,
Philippines.
yes.
So how
Happy to
has
be
been
back.
so how has been the adjustment for you so far from modeling to joining pageantry?
Guys, this adjustment, I have to be so honest. It's so hard because I'm not used to it anymore. Like Adam on Thursday, he took a video of me and he's like, "Show me your aura." And I forgot like what it is, because it's been a while. So I'm just a little bit out of practice because I wanted to come home earlier, but because of the pandemic for 2 years, I couldn't come back. It's been so long. It's been like 3 years. I last came here in 2019. So I've been adjusting, to be honest. And I've heard people say, like, you look so tired. I'm like, I'm not really tired. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so happy. But yeah, I'm adjusting.
For sure, your camp will is working out something for you to be, to be transformed in a fiercer, you know, in a
Yeah, of
fiercer
course.
version of yourself. Because this is the reason why I'm getting you for this interview is because I was really stunned by the way they styled you. Your camp styled you in one of your recent photo
Oh,
shoots. This one, I immediately
yes.
reposted this on my Instagram page, and I thought, wow, is this Sashi? She looks like a Miss Venezuela here. Yeah.
Yeah, I get
Good.
that a lot. The South
Yeah.
American, because my dad's Italian, but yeah.
Yeah. So apart from that, wala na. Okay ka na sa degree of difficulty in adjustment. Like in terms of walk. Kasi syempre, we all know you're so used to um catwalking in a lot of fashion shows. How are you finding the
Yeah.
difference between that and what you are doing now in pageantry?
Oh, it's a big difference. But yeah, I'm working hard every day. I'm excited because I love pageant walking. It's so beautiful. It's so smooth and sexy. It's so much, catwalking and modeling is kind of boring, isn't it? It's just unless it's like Victoria's Secret, then that can be really fun. So yeah, I'm excited to unlock that and feel sexy on stage and really enjoy my time on stage. I'm excited. but I have to work really hard also.
Yeah, I agree with you because in pageantry, the walk the walk reflects so much of a girl's personality. I don't know if you can agree
Yes,
with me. Unlike in
yes.
modeling, let's say someone modeling for New York Fashion Week, the
Mm,
face is so expressionless, and that you're
yeah.
more into there's a certain walk
Mm.
wherein
Actually,
you
yeah,
will
the
make you
designer
will act
kind of chooses the walk for you. The designer tells you what walk they want. Like, but for pageantry, you are your walk, you are your aura is your walk. So, yeah, in modeling, it's very uh,
we haven't seen your walk
generalized to
yet
the
in
designer.
pageantry, so I assume there's more
You have Miss
Sashi
Mandawi,
Chiesa
but
about.
yeah, 5 years ago, I've learned a lot from back then.
So from then, so now that you're completely adjusting to the pageant life, so what has been your most favorite online challenge in MUP so far? Among the five challenges that have been already uploaded online.
I was shocked how different, like how you have to channel such a different part of yourself for each challenge. It's so cool because you have to switch completely. Like for swimsuit, then you have to find a different capacity of yourself. But for me, the most memorable is the clean headshot challenge, because for me, it was like, I have arrived, I'm starting MUP now. Like, this is the beginning, this is the
Yes,
first
yes.
thing.
I
So for
noticed you
me, I
there.
was, oh, really? Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was an important one for me, because it was like the door has now opened to MUP.
Or more like the baptism of fire.
Yeah,
Kasi I
the
still remember you
baptism.
from your headshot. You opted for hindi ko lang na-upload dito, I forgot. But you opted for a wet look.
Oh yeah, like extremely. Even the skin was wet, not just hair wet look.
Was it your idea to go wet look for your headshot?
Um, kind of. It was like collab. I was like, yes, that's a great idea. It was actually raining also. It was raining, um, so that helped.
Oh, all
Yeah.
right. You impress us a lot, ah. A lot of
Oh,
pageant
thank
vloggers
you,
included
Adam.
you on their lists. So, um,
That's
a lot
nice.
of people are tuning in right now. Let's greet one of them. Let's greet some of them before we proceed with the interview. She looks like April Smith in her aura. Do you know April Smith, your fellow
Oh, thank you.
Cebuana model?
Yes. See, aura again. That's why I have to get used to the vibes. Thank you.
She really looks like a Latina, sabi ni
Eh.
Ariel Alino.
Yes. I
Yeah,
am a
Miss
shaper.
Venezuela.
Thank you, Ariel.
And then I sense a dark horse like Paranaque last year
Oh,
with her
thank
right
you,
now.
Brian.
Go, Ate Sashi.
Oh, hi.
Yes, Queen is serving. We
Thank you.
lots of love from hmm? Lots of love from Cebu, Visayas.
Yay.
She looks so
Thank you.
beautiful and sweet.
Thank you.
Let's
Thank
go,
you,
Sashi
Vitaly.
Universe.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So apart from being a
This is so
model, I
nice.
also read that you're also an aspiring actress and
Yes.
writes scripts for
Yes.
movies.
Yes.
Wow! Can you share more about it? How did your love for those big how were you able to develop those interests along the way?
Um, oh, that has been developed my whole life. You can ask anyone in my family that I was always in front of a movie screen. That is the one consistent thing in my life, is that I've always loved movies. And I realized when I kind of matured, like around 24 years old, 25 years old, I realized this is how I'm going to make an impact. I want to show people like me, I want to show Filipinas in movies. And that's why I started writing. I started training as an actress because I said I'm a Filipina. I have to be able to be good. I need to be really good at this. So I started training and I decided that that's what I want to do.
So what is your all-time favorite movie na talagang nag-ano talaga sa'yo, nag-spark sa'yo ng interest, no? I wanna pursue this career.
This is very, a lot of people ask me this because they expect like some kind of amazing Oscar winning movie. But my advice to you when you're trying to find your favorite movie, find the one that has the most impact. It could be a cheesy movie, but you have a great memory around it. For me, it's The Lion King because I just remember being at home and things weren't great at home, you know, like family troubles, but I had The Lion King to ground me. I'm an only child, by the way. I have half sisters, but at that time I didn't have any siblings to talk to, but I had the movie characters to talk to, and they were there for me. And so that's why I wanted to make movies. I was like, I want to be there for young girls that don't have anyone, that find comfort in their movie screens, or now it'll be like their iPad, their Netflix.
No, that's
So yeah.
nice. That's nice. So, oh nga, The
So
Lion
Lion King, I
King.
know you wanted like a you wanted an amazing Oscar winning movie, which I love all of them. I love, for example, Call Me by Your Name. That's an
Oh,
LGBT movie
yeah.
that I am
Yeah.
obsessed with because it's about love. And I think it's one of the best love stories. And it's not a man and a woman. I think it's incredible.
So paano yun? From acting, tapos you also write your own, you write your own scripts. Ang ano nun ang galing nun kasi it's, feeling ko most of the time it's always one or the other. Na you're only supposed to be good at one
Yeah.
thing or the other. You cannot combine both. Sino ba yung mga,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, bihira lang ako I mean, among our local actresses, parang the only actress that I can think of who na actress then at the same time um script writer or who really writes her scripts is Bella Padilla. And even Bella
Mm.
didn't show this talent until she's already established as an actress. So what kind of scripts do you write? How many
Well,
scripts have you already written?
to be honest, the most finished one is only one, and the rest are all in progress. But that's kind of how it works. They're all kind of in progress, but the one that is finished, it's about three girls, um, and they're all Asian, and it's exactly one. Basically, I'm gonna keep this story as a secret because you're gonna see it. I promise that you'll see it. But it's about girls in a college age, and it's not like something that you've seen. It's not like Mean Girls. It's not like what we usually see. It's us Filipina girls on screen.
So have you already submitted this to any producer
I
or
actually
film
have. I
outfit?
have, yeah, and funnily enough, he's Filipino. I did that on purpose. He actually is a Filipino director and also a producer. And he won the Berlin Film Festival, a silver bear. So he knows a little bit about movies,
Who's this? Which director
short
is this?
film, Berlin Film Festival.
Oh,
His name
so
is Rafael Manuel.
oh, all right, all right.
Yeah,
Wow. Wow,
yeah.
so 'di ba tapos makikita na lang namin yung movie mo in the near future, yung
Yeah,
sinulat mong
I hope
movie,
so.
nasa
That will
Netflix
be
na?
whoever, Netflix, Amazon, anyone anyone that's willing to buy it. But
I'm curious to ask kasi ako the closest experience I had about script writing was when my classmates in high school asked me to write the script of Florante and Laura. One of the fabled Philippine fable stories here yeah, in our lit in our contemporary literature. So
literature,
how does it how does it take how long does it take for you to write one screenplay?
it can vary. Sometimes this is so funny. Sometimes if you're writing an hour and 30-minute movie, you can even write it in one day because everything is coming to you. You know exactly what happens next. And sometimes it can take 3 months. And I've actually experienced both. It's taken either an entire summer where I'm like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to write. Or sometimes I just sat down and I was like, I can't sleep tonight because I know exactly
Yeah.
what's happening. I
The
need to finish.
the ideas
Yeah.
keep coming in. So paano pa
Yeah.
nagkaka-writer's block ka?
Wait, what did you say? Did I have writer's block before?
Yeah, kung
Or
nagkaka-writer's
what do I
block
do?
ka, yeah, if you
Um,
experience one, so you stop muna for a while and
yeah,
then
it's you must. You need to stop. You need to do something else. You need to relax because usually if you have writer's block, it's because you want it to be really good and you're stuck. So you need to do something completely different, like go horse riding or something. Go to the beach.
okay, wow, wow. So you're wow. So which gives you more excitement? Acting in front of the camera or behind working behind the scenes, behind the camera?
That's such a good question. I don't know. I
Which gives you
I
more thrill?
I Adam, I have to tell you the truth. Both make me so excited. I'm that's the truth. If I get the opportunity for either or, I'm gonna say yes, like screaming. I'm so excited. I can't
Do
choose.
you
They're both so exciting to me.
so do you see yourself also? So my question is, do you see also yourself directing a movie someday?
Yes, but
Oh,
that's
talaga?
scary. Oh yeah, you have to. Sometimes if you wrote a script and that's what my friends in the industry have told me that sometimes if you really want your story to be told, you have to direct it also. Um, but that is in the future. I need to develop the skills. I don't want to just take the director's role and then it's, not very good. I'm very OCD about that. I have to know all the skills first. I have to be good at
So
them.
so let can you refresh my memory again? What course did you take up in school? Film? Di ba you switched from
Yeah, I
medicine to
actually acting. That was the main course, acting. Yeah. But in acting, we also learn how to film, we learn about cameras, we learn about sets. And while acting on sets, I started asking questions to the director, like, what camera is that? What is that? What light is that? And started taking notes.
since you've lived in LA for quite some time, so you've been going through all these casting calls auditions there in
Yeah, I
Hollywood.
have. Mm-hmm.
Talaga?
Mm-hmm.
How was
Yes.
it? May mga nakuha ka ng mga gigs,
Yeah,
or even
I
small roles on
realized
television there?
I've had small roles in TV, but in commercials. So,
In the
and then
States.
in drama, it was only independent, like a small independent short film, something like that. Nothing really big yet, but I realized just how competitive, how many actresses there are. It's a big world, but yeah, it feels good to be part of it. I didn't get scared.
So what's your forte in acting? May I ask? Drama, comedy?
Um, Forte, huh? I would say drama. Yeah. Comedy is so hard. Comedy is harder than drama. So if you're good at comedy, good job. That you must be very, very talented.
Yeah, yeah. I agree kasi you have to think of the timing as well to
Yes.
deliver that punchline, 'di ba? So drama, you can easily cry at the snap of
Yes.
the finger.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. That's nice. Sana no. Wow.
A little
Wow.
bit. There's a few tricks.
Ang
Yeah.
dami mo. Grabe. Hindi ka lang model, hindi ka rin aspiring beauty queen, but also an aspiring actress, screenwriter, and now a budding director. Wow, wow. Parang feeling ko pwede ka na magtayo ng
Oh,
production
director. Don't
company.
put director in my resume
O at
yet.
least,
I'm
'di
not a
ba?
director. Yeah, that's only aspiring. Dreams. We all need some dreams.
As a budding filmmaker, sige na. As a budding filmmaker, sige, or screenwriter, let me ask you, what sort of films would you like to see? on the screen?
This is this is very important to me because I think it's time that we see films that focus on female narratives. Like, what if the mother in the movie is not just a mother? Like, why is her role only to be a mother? She needs to have a love life. She is a complex person. She is a whole person. And also the sister doesn't just play the sister. She is a complete woman with she has flaws, she has a background. So that's really what I want to show is um, whole women and put them at the center of the story because they never are. It's always the men at the center of the
Yeah,
story.
yeah.
Um, yeah. And
So,
what's really important for me, actually, one last thing is so important is to show our nationality, is to show the Philippines. And also for me, particularly, I want to show what it's like to be multicultural.
I like that. But you know what? If you notice, both the pageant industry
Mm,
and Hollywood are embracing diversity right now. Have you noticed it?
yeah.
But
Yes.
why do you think I somehow observe that jobs for female directors or even roles for meaty roles for women characters on the mainstream cinema are very sparse?
Yeah,
Why do
and
you
that's
think there seems to be a disconnect?
I mean, that's just due to lack of exposure and lack of opportunity. There just hasn't been opportunities for women to be accepted into film school. And, um, yeah, and it's when I say lack of exposure, it's important to kind of spread that thought out into young girls' mind that hey, you know what you can actually do, you can be a director. That's not just for men. You If you want to do that, you can do that. And also if you want to play roles, like if you want to become like Superman, you want to become like Thor, you can. Just because he's a man, there might be a role for you. So it's a little bit about exposure, and then also so importantly, you need to create the opportunity itself.
Do you think it's about time that we as moviegoers care about how a movie is being made or how a movie is being made, who is directing that movie versus what they see or what we see on screen?
Yeah, that will help. That will help if you want to see more female-led stories, if you want to create more opportunities for women in the film industry, then it will help if you and your friends go watch a film by a female movie director, because that will generate more revenue for her and that will translate, and the audience will realize that we like female filmmakers, we like female actresses. So it would be very helpful if you knew who made the movie. Um, yeah.
Yeah, especially in Hollywood, I noticed there seems to be a lack of recognition for women talents there, like
Mm,
whether she's an actress and a director or a
yeah.
scriptwriter. You know, I don't know if you just watched the
Mm-hmm.
Oscars, but just last year, the one who won Best Director was a female, and she was Asian. It was the only second time. I
Mm-hmm.
think the first she was the first Asian to win, and but the only second female director to win that much
Mm-hmm.
coveted award. So yeah, non, can you see the disparity between how how
Yes.
this whole thing is existing, that women, I mean Hollywood na to, but women are still, are still having a hard time competing when it comes
Yeah.
to
And
doing a lot.
a lot of that lack of recognition is actually also in the paycheck. They're not being
Yeah,
paid that much. So the studio is not recognizing, if you're giving the male director more, then you're devaluing the work of the woman. So a lot of that is also due to equal pay and many, many other things.
Yeah, I read a Hollywood article wherein the likes of even superstar female superstars like Jennifer Lawrence are only getting half as much as her male
Yeah.
counterparts in
Yeah, like
Hollywood.
Leonardo DiCaprio or something like that. Yeah.
So, what do you think? We're already talking about Hollywood, and if you think about, and if you also read a lot of UN studies, gender gap talaga is really, is a huge problem. And we can only see that the gender gap can only be closed in year 2095, would you believe? And then, like what you said, yeah, despite the numerous strides that women have been have been doing or have taken to make substantial contributions in our society, what do you think must be done to create a quicker progress towards gender equality?
For me, particularly, I think just because it's related to my advocacy, I would say that we need to focus more on gender equality in education. So there are groups right now working on gender equality in the workplace, which is what we talked about, like working on salary, making sure that the workplace is fair for women. But I think it's time to focus on gender equality in education, making sure that the young girls are encouraged to go to school. Especially, this is really important in the Philippines because in low income countries, they're putting a less precedence, they're putting less importance on the daughter to study and go to school and get an education. So it's so important that we start with gender equality in education first and making sure that it's fair for young girls in schools and that they have access to the proper education because that will translate to all other parts of their life when they become adults.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Alam mo,
Yeah.
wow, I agree. Listening to you, wow, talagang you're very well spoken and
Oh,
you
thank
really
you.
advocate for some things that need to be addressed in our society right now. Now, as a candidate for MUP, as a candidate for MUP right now, and everything that we have talked about with your advocacy, with your numerous talents in the film industry, or even your international modeling days, where do you think does a woman stand in today's society? Do you think, yeah,
I think we stand at a much better place than we used to, but there's so much more work to do. Um, Again, we're not paid enough, we're not paid the same amount, the opportunities are less. We need to strive to reach that equality. So, although we're proud of all the work that's been done, I think it's time to really, really focus and start changing, for me, particularly again, educational programs for young girls so that we can really improve that gap. Yeah, it's really not there yet.
true, true. Sana dumating yung time na yon. Sana dumating talaga yung time na yon talaga where, men and women will be of equal with each other. Na
Yeah, and
there's no gap in terms of wages, in terms of the roles that they get from movie producers, from pay
yeah, and
cuts to discrimination. Yeah,
the main one is really, yeah, opportunity, because no one should be denied an opportunity because of their gender. So that's the main thing. I understand that men and women are different. Everyone is, unique in their own way, but to deny an opportunity to somebody, that's not right. Everyone should be able to become whoever they want to be.
so as we're down to my last few questions, no doubt.
Okay.
No
Oh,
doubt. I've been so impressed by how you have been showcasing yourself here in our interview. Grabe, ang
oh,
dami
thank
mong
you.
talent. Sabi nga ni isa dito, napaka-talented mo pala, Sashi. Hindi namin alam. So I wonder,
I'm trying. It's
between
because I'm
your...
so old, Adam. It's because I'm old. That's why I have a resume.
No, don't say that. Who says you're old?
True.
Age is just a
True.
number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that's not true.
So we've been talking
We're all
about
young.
filmmaking. So I want to tease you muna.
Okay.
Which would you prefer having? Winning an Oscar or winning Miss Universe Philippines?
Both. Oh my god. um, I mean, yeah, I winning both of those are accolades that would be really useful, but for me it's more important that I get what I want out of those two competitions, if we call getting an Oscar a competition. So with Miss Universe Philippines, I want to make sure that what I get out of it, whether I win the crown or not, I'm still able to live for my advocacy and inspire people that, oh my God, that girl can be so passionate and can be such a role model that, that's what I want people to take away from that. So, crown or not, I would love that. And Oscar or not, I'm still going to make the movies that I'm talking about. I'm still going to spread Filipino stories. So for me, those two accolades, they exist. I would welcome them with open arms, but what I'm doing in my heart and what my actions are more important to me.
So how do you see yourself 5 years from now? Hollywood
Um,
producer slash mega mogul Sashi Chiesa.
um, I have no idea, especially with the last 2 years. Like I had a plan for myself, and then the pandemic happened. So it's really hard now to force me to say what will happen in 2 years. Clearly, you can't really predict. You can only set goals for yourself. So my goals now are to make sure that I'm really representing women in the right way, that I'm being empowered in everything that I do. That's why I joined Miss Universe Philippines. I was like, what can I do this year that is helpful to me and is what I believe in? I want to join Miss Universe Philippines because that is a step in my career that empowers women. So that's what I want to do. Yeah, so just stick to my goals. That's what I'll be doing for the next 5 years.
I was about to give you my last question, but you already answered it. Why should you be the
Oh,
next Miss
really?
Universe Philippines? But yeah,
Yeah,
I got I already got our answer from you.
that's
Yeah,
good.
empowering women, fellow women. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
want people to see that. Yeah.
on that note, I can't believe we've been talking for almost an hour already. Can't you
I
believe
know,
that?
and I'm so happy it didn't, like, my Wi-Fi didn't lag or anything like that too much.
Yeah. So how do you want, as my last question, how do you want to be remembered here in Miss Universe Philippines?
I want to be remembered as the girl that was extremely passionate and never let go of what she wants to do and what she wants to achieve. Someone that's a goal getter, a go getter and a goal getter. That's what I want people to see when they look at me. And if I inspired anyone to do that, then that would be incredible.
That's nice. That's nice. We're
Yes.
wow. For sure, the viewers who are watching us right now are really inspired. Imagine, ang dami mong interest. Like, wow,
Oh, that would be.
model,
Thank
beauty
you.
queen, actress, aspiring actress, script writer,
Yeah,
and who knows, you could be the next big Hollywood producer there
and
in
don't
that
yeah
part
don't
of
put
the globe.
yourself in a box. You can be whatever you want to be, but it's really important to work hard as well and do your research, and that's what I learned. Hard work and passion, you can do some cool things.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
So, on that note, maraming maraming salamat, Sashi, for
Thank
gracing my
you.
interview
Salamat kaayo. Thank you for
tonight.
watching.
I really had a
Thank
great
you.
time getting to know you. Sobra. A
Me
woman with
too.
so
I can't
many
wait to see you
interests.
again.
Yeah, hopefully with more aura next
I'm gonna practice. Okay, okay.
Yeah. So maraming maraming salamat to your camp aces and queens for making this interview possible. I really had such a great time
Thank
getting to know you talaga.
you.
I hope you all did as well, guys. So, before we end this, and then let me just give a quick shout out to everyone who's still tuning in Oh, someone's saying here. Ahong, ahong,
Mga
ahong tamang.
oponganon!
What does that
Eh!
mean? What?
Ahong ta mga oponganon. It might be something political, but I'm not
Oh, all
sure.
right. Uh, oh, let's avoid that. Let's avoid that. Okay. Cebu
Cebu rep.
representatives are very impressive.
Thank you, Renz.
Ang ganda talaga ni Sashi and ang galing-galing sumagot, sabi
Thank
ni
you.
Virali Philippines. Cebu representatives are really impressive. She
Thank
really
you.
answers naturally.
Thank you, Wilsa. That's
'Di ba?
nice.
Grabe ang talented ni Sashi. Laban, Lapu-Lapu City class. See?
Thank you.
Guys, maraming
That was
salamat
a
for
lot of
tuning in.
fun.
I hope
Thank
you
you so
got
much.
inspired by the likeness of Sashi here, who keeps on pursuing her dreams, whether mapa MUP, Hollywood, or even, who knows, going back to modeling, even if you're
Exactly.
26 already. Yeah, age is
Oh,
just a
that's
number.
plenty of time.
Yeah, galing-galing mo daw talaga sumagot. So maraming salamat again. Good night and enjoy
Good night. Have
the
a good
rest
night,
of your
everyone.
evening. Mwah.
Thank you, Adam. Bye.
Virtual
Thank you
hugs
for
and
having me.
kisses all the way from my
Thank you
office
for
here in
having
Cubao.
me. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye.